In my dreams, you are alive and well, precious child, precious child. In my mind, I see you clear as a bell, precious child, precious child. In my soul, there is a hole that can never be filled. But in my heart, there is hope, 'cause you are with me still. In my heart, you live on, always there, never gone. Precious child, you left too soon. And though it may be true that we're apart, you will live forever in my heart. In my plans, I was the first to leave, precious child, precious child. But in this world, I was left here to grieve, precious child, my precious child. In my soul, there is a hole that can never be filled. But in my heart, there is hope. In my dreams, you are alive and well, precious child, precious child. In my mind, I see you clear as a bell, precious child, precious child. In my soul, there is a hole that can never be filled. But in my heart, there is hope, 'cause you are with me still. In my heart, you live on, always there, never gone. Precious child, you left too soon. And though it may be true that we're apart, you will live forever in my heart. In my plans, I was the first to leave, precious child, precious child. But in this world, I was left here to grieve, precious child, my precious child. In my soul, there is a hole that can never be filled. with me still. In my heart, you live on, always there, never gone. Precious child, you left too soon. Though it may be true that we're apart, you will live forever in my heart. God knows I wanna hold you, see you, touch you, and maybe there's a heaven, and someday I will again. Please know you're not forgotten until then. In my heart, you live on, always there, never gone. Precious child, you left too soon. Though it may be true that we're apart, you will live forever in my heart.
On behalf of the family, friends, we appreciate you coming. I'd like to do a prayer. Father God, we rejoice in your promise of love, joy, and peace. In your mercy, turn the darkness of death into the dawn of a new life, and the sorrows of parting into the joy of heaven through our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Sean Michael Mooney of Harrah, Oklahoma, passed away from this life far too soon. In July 4th, 2024, at the age of 53. Sean was born in Oklahoma City on July 28th, 1970. He leaves his wife, Loretta Mooney, to cherish his memory, along with two sons, Jordan Mooney and wife Amanda, Mickey Mooney. Sean is also survived by two grandchildren, Paige and Lane. Is it Laney? Pardon me for all the names. I will mess them up, so bear with me. His parents, Becky Torres and Father James Mooney, one sister, Michelle. See, I told you. Valencia, is it Valencia? Okay. And husband, Lonnie. And three brothers, Brian Mooney, his wife, Melinda, Scott Mooney, and his wife, Jacinda. Whoa. And Anthony Torres and wife, Sandy, along with many loving cousins, nieces, nephews, extended family, and countless friends. Sean was a family man and an outdoorsman who, from time he was 8 years old, spent much of his life honing his talents as a motocross rider. His passion for motocross never wavered, but later in life focused on a quieter hobby like fishing and hunting. He especially looked forward to summers and enjoying setting off fireworks every 4th of July, a hard worker with a mechanical aptitude from the time he was very young. Sean was a wonderful provider for his family and spent most of his career working at the Air Force as a sheet metal mechanic, a job he thoroughly enjoyed. Yet of all these things in life brought him joy, it was his family who made him the happiest. He was the loving husband, father, grandfather, son, brother, and friends to many. As we honor his life, let us find comfort in each other and remember Sean for his wide array of accomplishments. To many possessions he pursued, and great love he had for people in his life. He will be deeply missed. So the family wanted to read a verse from the Bible. It's John 11:25. I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this? So at this point, I'm going to ask the family if there's anyone would like to come up and speak on his behalf. Now's the time.
Hey, buddy. I know I've been talking to you a lot this week. Been missing you. You won't let me hear you say anything back to me, but I'm just gonna let everyone know how much I thank you, even though it's too early into our lives to put everything into words. That was me and your bond with each other. The only reason I agreed to speak is because I want to let everyone know how greatly you impacted my life. Grit and the determination you always had, how you always taught me to have the confidence to go all in on every journey I may pursue, but also the ability to be free-spirited and carve my own legacy out in this journey that is life. When I was younger, I'd always see you working on dirt bikes or trucks, trying to teach me, and I would always ignore it and wonder why. It just wasn't until I was older I realized that you would do anything you needed so that you could provide your family with everything they needed, while also doing everything to ensure that your boys could pursue any dream we had and have a good time doing it. You always taught me to be cool, calm, and collected, but at the same time, never let anyone put their foot on my neck or hold me back from doing and saying what I believe in. And you showed me what it meant and what it took to be courageous. When the news first broke, I felt just like that shy, scared little boy all over again, who was too nervous to go hit big jumps at the track, or too scared to be alone or by myself in a room full of strangers. It made me look within myself more than ever and try to carry myself in a way you would understand and be proud of. I was always so influenced by the way you would find a new hobby and commit yourself to it until you accomplish the goals you set out for yourself. And you always made the most of everything, even if it wasn't everything you wanted. I still remember how good of a time we had last year when asked you to come fish with me at a pond. We must have caught 7 or 8 fish apiece that day in just a few hours. And it sparked some wild hair in you, and then you went out the very next week and you got yourself a boat. And we had so many good times fishing out there on the lake, and I miss sitting there talking to you while you're sitting in your recliner, talking about the different spots we tried or what lures would work in certain conditions. Or just the lakes we would plan to fish at in the future. Thank you for all the times you'd sit and talk to me about anything that was on our minds. I thank you for your willingness and passion to teach other people and give them advice for anything that you know about, and how you always had anyone's back who needed it. The way you were selfless and would give anything to help you could, even if there was nothing in return for you except for just a good word from them. The love you had for seeing people around you reach their fullest potential, it's something I'll never forget, and something I'll always carry on with me and try to do my best to do as well. I remember one time my motor broke down somehow at a race, and I remember you and Jordan staying up all night from probably about 8 at night all the way until daylight the next morning, and the races started, and y'all was trying to tear apart my old engine, put in a new one. And I didn't notice it at the time, but I knew you just wanted to see me have a good time racing now. Just have a good time with you and just see a smile. You can only find a love like this once in life, and a care like it. And it served as a great example as to how you do your best to help your kids' dreams come true. You always made me so happy to be your little buddy. Do all the stuff that you were involved with. You'd always pick my spirit up after a close loss in a wrestling match and encouraged me to always get better for the next one. Or going to hunt with you, waking up before the sun rose and walking to our spot, and then after we're done for the morning, going and checking other places we'd love to go to. I'll never forget how happy you were when you see me get my first buck. We were so happy together, and I'd do anything for a moment like that again. I always had such a good time with you, man. All the way until the last time we were saying our final goodbyes after driving through the West Coast together, seeing all the beautiful mountains and the scenery by the ocean. Just getting to experience the earth and seeing that you enjoyed going with me made me so happy. So to my moto buddy, hunting buddy, fishing buddy, and best friend, I can ask for. Thank you is an understatement for how grateful I am to have been able to call you my father. So until we meet again, rest easy up there. I love you.
Sean Michael Mooney. He was more than a friend to me. He took me into his heart. He had a way to give, a way that he lived that was just so inspiring. You know, Sean really never had the best of everything, but he made the best of everything he had, and he loved everybody that he was close to, his family, his friends. He loved hard. He would go all in. Anything you ever needed that you would call, and he was always there. His love never wavered. We've had our ups and downs like everybody, and that's just life. But one thing at the end of the day, we're able to sit down, put any differences aside, and know that we were there for each other. He gave me the confidence. When I met Sean, it was Brian. I met Brian, and that was back in junior high. And we became friends, and Brian brought me home and to his home, brought me into his home. And the very first moment I met Sean, he accepted me as I was. I didn't have to try to be somebody else. He always was the most genuine person, and it was he was just at my house 3 weeks ago, and the only way that I could find comfort in this whole thing and knowing this is in God's plan was him bringing him through, and we were making our plans for the next chapter, and how it was we were going to move forward and continue on, and everything that happened before was just gone, and then none of that mattered. All that mattered was that moment that we were in right then, and how much we could build from that to make tomorrow better for us and everybody that we loved. And we were moving forward with that. But that wasn't God's plan. God's in control, and he took my brother home to be with the others that went before. So I find comfort knowing that Sean made this world a better place while he was here. He's inspired so many people to believe in themselves. He taught me to believe in myself. When I was in my lowest of lows, and I didn't think I could do anything that I am now, he made me believe. He made me believe that I can do it. He gave me the confidence and to be where I am. I wouldn't be where I am today without him, that believing in me and pushing me to become a better person and to stand up for myself and to not be disrespected. And that was something that Sean, he was a man of men, a man among men. He will always be in my heart. I know I carry a piece of him with me because I am who I am because of him. And I cannot thank him and his family enough for taking me in when I was so lost and I didn't know where to go, what to do, and him just showing me the way and believing in me more than I believed in myself, and encouraged me and brought out the best in me. I feel that I didn't do enough to give back to him. And I was working on that. And now I can't. I will forever miss my friend, my brother, Sean Michael Mooney.
Can you all hear me? I'm going to try not to Joe Biden this thing. You all remember the ShamWow? It's like a towel. And they sold the infomercial. Sean got extremely upset at me one time after getting off the dirt bike. Took my helmet off, my gear. I'm using this ShamWow. And he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Hey, it's like a towel. You can also dry your truck with it if you want." And I said, "Professional swimmers use this." And he's so upset. He says, "You're not a professional swimmer." For those of you that don't know, I'm Billy Joe Foreman. I hired in with the government in '02, sat next to Brian Hunter. We're shooting the bull. We get to talk, and he says, "Man, you need to meet this friend of mine named Sean." And here I am. Years later, I see old Sean. First time that I meet him was at Blanchard, chasing Mickey here around on a little 50 with training wheels. And it wasn't long after that, I'm at the fairgrounds watching Sean compete in an arena cross racing under the lights. He had a blonde wife, 2 boys. I was thinking, this is some stuff I want to get into, you know. It's all fun and games with Sean until he loses his temper. I got to bring up some stuff about his temper. I'm shaking up here. I need the ShamWow. I'm sweating. My palm is sweaty. I'm clammy. Anyways, Sean, at Tinker years ago, you had to ride a motorcycle out there. You had to take a motorcycle safety course, and Sean and I are sitting next to each other on our motorcycles. I had a cruiser at the time, and this other fella who was not very good on 2 wheels said, "How do I go around this corner?" You know, he was an idiot. And the instructor said, "Well, you need to go around the corner slow and pull in the clutch." And Sean says, "The hell you do? You're going to fry that clutch if you don't do that. You know, that clutch is going to sit there and spin." And this instructor says, "Hey, I'm teaching the class. I know what I'm talking about." And Sean, anything with a dirt bike, you were doing it wrong. He did it right, you did it wrong. And back to what Billy here was saying about some stuff that Sean did for me is, those of you all that know me and watched me ride, I wasn't a good jumper. And at Cooperland, there were these tabletops on the back. Right around, Sean was watching me, always critiquing me. And he said, "You're killing me by you casing that jump. You're landing, you're hurting yourself, you know." And I was a little scared, you know. It's like the last couple laps. He says, "Ride around with me. Follow me. We're going to go 3rd gear pinned on this table. You get on up there with me, and you'll land on the downside, and it'll save your knees." So I do. He knew I was nervous. He knew I was scared. I listened to him. I followed his lead, and I did it. He gave me all the confidence. I'm almost done. I'm at a Draper one day, and I tell Sean, I was like, "Man, I want to get serious about Okra. I want to try and win a race and maybe win a series." I said, "I'm thinking about buying a new bike." And Sean came in clutch with some amazing financial advice and said, "Hey, go buy it Friday and figure out how to pay for it on Monday." So I basically go get deep in debt. My dad doesn't talk to me for a week. I think I almost went through a divorce over it, and then later did go through a divorce, but beside the point. Get done, we're on the blue trail, and Sean was way faster than me, and I said, "Man, I got to get serious about this, you know." And he said, "If you'll start doing the blue trail a couple times a week, that I think you'll win a race. You got a new bike, you know." Next thing you know, I just noticed Sean kind of became my biggest fan. He was kind of getting out of the racing. I was getting into it. He would call me. We would go ride. He would talk to me about stuff, all with racing. It's like he wanted me to do good, and that meant the world to me. I got out of racing. I mean, not that I was any good, but I'm going to take it to my grave. I was the 2009 Intermediate A-Class champ, if you all want to check tape or write that down or whatever. Next thing you know, me and Sean, we talk a week in advance about the A1 Supercross. He always was on me because I'm such a Kawasaki fan. Sean was so happy when Eli Tomac left Kawasaki and went to Yamaha. He was only happy because I love Kawasaki. Last thing, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, me and Sean are shooting the bull, and he says, man, I notice I like all your cooking, but I gave up dirt bike riding and all that stuff, and now I post dumb cooking videos on TikTok. And again, he was my fan again. He said, man, you need to keep that up. You know, people like cooking videos. You know, again, Sean being my fan, he was always there for me. That's it for me, guys. To all the Mooney family, if you ever need me, please don't hesitate. I'd love to try and help. Thank you all. What else to say?
No, you good. That was awesome. Better than all of ours.
All right, I'm gonna try to get through this. If you would have told me that Dad would fill up a church one day, I would tell you you're full of crap. Oh, Dad, man, I love you, dude, and I miss you. You got me up here speaking, and I don't do this kind of thing. You'd think all the interviews at Tinker I'd be good at this, but I still haven't got the job I wanted, so I guess I'll keep on trying. If you knew Dad, the Mooney last name meant something to him, and he would let you know it. You were a Mooney, and you're gonna stand tall, and you're gonna be tough, and you're gonna fight back. You're not gonna take anybody's crap. You're not gonna let anybody talk down on you or your family. That was the way Dad raised me. He raised me tough. I got the tough Sean Mooney, and I think I wore him out for Mickey, so Mickey can thank me for that. But he was hard on me, and I was hard on him. We had so many memories. We raced okra in a shitty old, sorry for my language, blue van. We traveled the state of Oklahoma racing together. I'll remember those times forever. Also, I remember one time he bought me a, I think it was a 08 YZ 85. And Billy was there, foreman. He was there showing it to Billy, and Mickey was out there riding on his 50 and the training wheels, and I went inside to get my gear. And I come out, and guess who's on my bike? Dad. Dad's out there riding it, testing it. And we had a little tabletop out of a corner at the house, and he hit it, and the power band took off, and he did a Superman off the back of it. And the bike almost hit Mickey while he was riding. And I wasn't worried about Mickey, and I wasn't worried about Dad. I was worried about Dad just wrecked my new bike. Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do without him. I'm the man I am today because of him, because this is tough love. I just want to thank all y'all for coming out. It's all the support and everybody that loved Dad. I didn't realize it till this past week. My phone has been blowing up, and I haven't been able to thank everybody. But I do appreciate everybody that's here and everybody that's reached out. I know Dad is smiling up there because if you know anything about our family, we always fought. And we always had our differences, and Dad was working on getting everybody back together. And until this week, we haven't been back together, and now we're back together. And I know Dad is happy, and he's smiling upstairs because he finally got all of us back together. So, I love you. I love you, Dad. And I'm going to live through you. And I'm going to do the best I can to make you proud. That's about all I got. Thank y'all.
Bear with me just 1 minute. We're going to start a slideshow.
Living on the road, my friend, was gonna keep you free and clean. And now you wear your skin like iron, and your breath is hard as kerosene. You weren't your mama's only boy, but her favorite one, it seemed. She began to cry when you said goodbye. Sank into your dream. Pancho was a bandit boy. His horse was fast as polished steel. He wore his gun outside his pants, where all the honest world could feel. Well, Pancho met his match, you know, on the deserts down in Mexico. Nobody heard his dying word. Oh, but that's the way it goes. All the federalists say they could have had him any day. They only let him slip away out of kindness, I suppose. Lefty, he can't sing the blues all night long like he used to. The Dusty Pancho bit down south, he ended up in Lefty's mouth. The day they laid poor Pancho low, Lefty split for Ohio, where he got the bread to go. There ain't nobody knows. All the federalists say they could have had him any day. We only let him slip away out of kindness, I suppose. The poets tell how Pancho fell and left his living in a cheap hotel. The desert's quiet, Cleveland's cold, and so the story ends. only did what he had to do. And now he's growing old. We only let him go so long. Out of kindness, I suppose. A few great veterans said could have had him any day. We only let him go so long. Out of kindness, I suppose. Me and him was beating in banks, talking life and death, Fords and Chevrolets. Said, son, we got it made. Got a life well full, little sunshine, a little shade. I ain't ready to go today, but when my time comes and if I had it my way, I'd be sitting on a lake like glass, catching largemouth bass, just my boy and me. Or maybe on a 50-yard line, watching Alabama whoop up on Tennessee. Or maybe on a front porch swing, something cold to drink and mama's hand to hold. And a song on the radio would be a hell of a way to go. I remember thinking that day I couldn't picture him going any other way. Someday when I get old, I can only hope when the good Lord calls me home. I'd be sitting on a lake like glass, catching largemouth bass, just my boy and me. Or maybe on a 50-yard line, watching Alabama whoop up on Tennessee. Or maybe on a front porch swing, something cold to drink, my baby's hand to hold. And a song on the radio would be a hell of a way to go. That would be a hell of a way to go.
Let's do an ending prayer. Lord, as we prepare to leave this place and go our separate ways, we ask for your comfort to surround us. May the memories we hold dear lift us in the days ahead, and may feel you in our hearts as we grieve. Amen. To the family, my condolences. Jordan, you'll be all right. I guarantee it. I can already see it in you. You're the man now. And you're prepared. You're ready. Okay? You want to come down? He has an announcement for you guys.
Good afternoon. My name is James. I'm with Swadley's. I have the privilege of working with Loretta, and we are providing lunch. Unfortunately, Loretta didn't know or didn't let us know how well loved Sean was. So we brought food for about 75 people. Head count, I'm looking at about 150 right now. Let's make sure that the family gets to eat, And then anybody that's super hungry, you guys can also eat. But I just wanted to let you know, as soon as we get done, we're setting up right across the hallway. Thank you, Loretta, and thank you, everyone.
You guys are dismissed. Do you want to keep the family in here and have some discussions before, or do you want to just dismiss and go? Just dismiss, okay. You guys, thank you a lot for coming. And the food is over in the, where you guys were at the gym, okay? Out the back door? That door. Down the ramp, turn left.